do in this game. Introducing the players in their respective starting locations. In the upper right, we have our Zerg player, DRG. In cross spots in the bottom left starting location, we have our Protoss player using DTs to deceive DRG. I have no idea what he's going to do this game. We're going to find out soon. Party.
Okay, so we get to see what these guys do have planned. Of course, Parting will be going for a Forge Fast Expand. DRG will be going for 3 bases. If either of those players weren't to do that, I would be concerned. I would be like, what is going on here? Because, I mean, that's how they play. They're both very macro-oriented.
Absolutely. As our analyst mentioned, this is a map where it's easy to get a third base. There's really no excuse for not getting a third up and running. But, you know, it's also a big map. I feel like, honestly, if I can just make a prediction right now, Artosis, I feel like DRG is going to win the next 2.
Do you?
Do you think I'm crazy for thinking that?
I think you're crazy! Well, you know, DRG this weekend is playing well. He's 2-1 right now. But he did get just completely slammed by MC, who then lost to Violet. So,
right.
I mean, this is a hard tournament, okay? No matter how good you are at any matchup, there's going to be people who can take you down, unless maybe you're a Marine King. Who knows? But I don't know. I can't expect him to win these games when Parting, you know, Parting made a great choice there. Parting said this morning on his Twitter that, you know, he wants to win the tournament because a lot of people were questioning how poorly he placed yesterday.
Very nice. Now let's see if he follows the drone.
Yeah, it looks like he's going
I think he does. This actually could be bad for DRG.
You know what it feels like when you're a Zerg and that drone is, I mean, you're a drone and that probe is right behind you like that. It is actually, wow, it actually gets down. But it's painful for a Zerg player. It's just...
Well, you know, you're at the Protoss's whim. I mean, you start out the game with an idea of how you want to expand and when you want to attack and the locations you want to take. And the Protoss player is basically taking that away from you.
Yeah. Well, Parting now knows that, of course, this is going to be a 3-base play by DRG. So he can just get 2 gases in a second here as he gets that cannon and gateway going.
Parting really good at hiding probes. That probe hidden in a very cloudy part of the map. Once again.
Oh, wow, that is...
It's actually
quite foggy over there.
I got to say, I really respect players when I see little moves like this. I mean, you know, he's not only picking an obscure location, but he's picking one where your eyes might not actually catch.
You know what's actually really funny is there is a whole metagame on hiding probes. Because there are popular points that probes are hidden at, and then Zergs figure that out and always go there. So then you have to go somewhere that is stupid sometimes, because a Zerg would always scout there, of course. But then it rotates through. It's actually really funny that StarCraft is such a complex game that there can be a metagame within the metagame about hiding a probe.
Yeah, and then of course on top of that, it's hiding pylons as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you cannot afford to just lose 3 or 4 pylons because you're not hiding them in good locations.
Quite true, Tasteless. Well, right now, we are going to see as the core finishes up what Parting wants to do. Will he get +1? What is he going to go for? Could it be a Stargate? I wouldn't be surprised at all if he goes Stargate. You know, this is a pretty good map for it.
All right, the cybernetic score is done. Warp Gate will be on the way. No upgrade here at the Forge yet. Stargate.
And that's a faraway one. He doesn't want it scouted. To have it that far away, when you actually rally things out, it's going to take longer to get across the map.
Do you think it's possible he's going to go for double Stargate?
No.
No?
No, definitely not.
No chance?
If he was going double Stargate, I would definitely expect to see the second Stargate by now. I mean, he'd want to get it extremely quickly because, you know, it takes a while to actually get your Stargate tech and get units out, and you have to hit very crisp timings before they have enough to just throw down a million spores and have a bunch of queens and just really stomp you for it.
Okay, Stargate almost finishing. Generally, we see Void Ray first, followed up by Phoenixes. The Phoenixes sort of escort the Void Ray around, picking up queens and drones and what have you.
That's right, the Void Ray is lazy. It can't pick those up itself.
Nope. Sure cannot. Over for DRG, he has 3 gases now. He's droning heavily. He's up to 45 drones to the Protoss player here, partying. He's only at 38.
Well, the first Void Ray is going to be popping out pretty soon. +1 attack on the way for partying. And, well, we don't know exactly what he wants to do from here, but I wouldn't be surprised if this will be into a quick third expansion. You know, Void Rays can be useful to get that third. It's not quite as useful as it used to be, but, you know, obviously Roaches have a hard time against Void Rays, so.
All right, so the Void Ray now clearing out the Overlords on the map. One good thing about you know, going for a Void Ray opener like this is you get to bully all the Overlords back onto Zerg territory. Suddenly Zerg, the burden on the Zerg is now to push creep in order to have valuable intel on what's going on the map or have a lot of Zerglings sent out.
Yeah. Well, couple Queens waiting for that Phoenix. Look at DRG, so calm, not even putting down a spore there yet, knowing exactly when he needs to get those spores to stay safe. He has a lot of Queens right now and starting to push his creep quite heavily.
I want to echo what you said. He did not get a spore right away because he actually wanted that one drone to mine for a little bit longer. He's getting it the last necessary second.
In fact, at those bases, he's now making spores. So
yeah,
that just goes to show how smart he is. Now, the layer speed has been scouted. He sees pretty much what's going on here. Of course, DRG hasn't shown exactly what he wants to make for unit composition, but look at this, being chased away very quickly by all these Queens, and he has connected the creep in between those two bases, so the Void Ray's not going to be all that useful here. Not actually getting many kills, 1 kill on it, and in fact the Phoenixes have none, so far these have been good for scouting and not much else.
The Observer's going to be out here. You know, so far, nothing abnormal about the amount of damage that's been dealt here, although this might be the moment where it starts to pick up. You see Parting's being very cautious with the Void Ray.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that. The second you lose the Void Ray, I mean, you're actually just going to be sad. You want that to be a tool that you have for a very long time. It's expensive to get a Void Ray out. It's time-consuming.
More gateways going down here. Interesting to see that DRG aggressively pushed his creep in the upper left.
You know, that's definitely an area that can have a lot of contention in it. Look at this. Actually, the Phoenix is starting to do a little bit of harassment on these Queens.
Beautiful transfusion there.
Wow, very nice indeed. And, you know, that's always painful as someone with Phoenixes, to actually have the Queen almost die and then it gets saved and suddenly, oh man, he's going to have even more creep tumors now. Really ineffective so far with the Void Ray and Phoenix.
Can you check? Well, actually, I guess I could check because this isn't the GSL. I actually have my own PC. He does not actually have vision to see that there's an expansion. There's a 4th base. He has no idea.
Has not scouted that yet. But, you know, there's so much creep, his Queens can get down pretty quickly. And, in fact, he did just scout it. So, I mean, he might harass it lightly, but not really going to make it cancel or anything like that. Now, well, he's actually, I've got a lot of Phoenixes there. The spore does go down, though, and beautiful transfuse once again.
So far, he has been dealing with these, the Void Ray and the Phoenixes so well.
Yeah. Has to be a little bit frustrating for parting. Now, we have a lot of Roaches moving out right now. DRG hasn't scouted that base yet, but he's going to know that most likely it's there, and he's going to poke up into that area. But a lot of sentries, Immortal, Stalkers, a couple cannons, and don't forget that he has the Void Ray out on the map as well as the Phoenixes, which can come back pretty quickly. So this Roach attack, oh, a nice set of force fields, splitting them up, making them run away.
He's going to have to get out of there fast.
Yeah, this is not going to work out all that well, but DRG being pretty smart. He's bringing one group of Roaches away to have him chase, and the other one around for some more pressure, for some more damage. And oh, could he snipe this Colossus? Oh, wow, the Colossus is saved by parting, but it's very, very low on health.
Surprisingly, he did not force field there. Meanwhile, though, we have another attack going down here. At the expansion, Parting's handling this pretty well.
Well,
the Immortal's doing a lot of damage in the back here. The Roaches really can't get to it with the force field placement.
That's right, but DRG continuing to send some more units around. You know, it looks like there's just no way he's going to break him right now. And in fact, DRG is already doing some tech switching. The Roaches not being all that useful for him. He's going directly to Hive and Spire right now. So it looks like he definitely wants to go ahead and get Broodlords out. And in fact, Spine Crawler's already beginning.
Yeah. Well, I think he realized that the ground offensive there was not going to do anything. It's time to bank into the late game.
Well, right now we do have the Zerg player just kind of running around the map. He's still sending his drones around. In fact, he has 86 drones right now, which is a great number to have. And oh my god, 10 infestors are on the way right now, Tasteless. That is a lot of infestors. He is going for a serious hive tech composition.
Yeah, this is going to make the Phoenixes much less useful. And from here, I would assume after he gets out enough infestors, he's going to go straight to the Broodlords. Yeah, but we'll have to see.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that is definitely what he wants to do. And you have to have a lot of infestors with those Broodlords, or you're just going to get so outmaneuvered. They're going to blink under you. You're going to lose everything. So at this point, you know, what I'd love to see out of Parting is him just throwing down a fleet beacon. I'm actually a little bit surprised he's not doing that yet. You know, he knows about the 4th base, and when Zerg has 4 base, they can freely go up to Broodlords. You know, they don't have to have a 5th. When they're on 3 bases, you don't really worry about it because they don't have the right economy.
See the Void Ray now going for that 5th base. I feel like Parting is going to have to push out pretty soon here. Oh, are we going to get Fungals? Yes. If he can just keep Fungling, he's going to get all those Phoenixes.
He is indeed, but a couple infestors going down. Can he get another one? No, looks like he cannot. Killing 2 infestors for those, you know, may as well.
All right, the hatchery is taking some hits, and it looks like Parting says, no, you cannot have a 5th base. I am almost positive that that will be canceled.
Yeah, that was actually really well done by Parting to force that to get canceled. Moving his army out to support the Void Ray.
Yeah, he was even trying to bait in the roaches, so he moved his army back again.
Yeah.
To have just the Void Ray.
Thing is, if he can actually engage DRG's army like right now before Broodlords, that's good. If he can kill off some infestors, that's great.
All right, supplies right now 183 to 163.
Now we do have the fleet beacon just started, Tasteless.
Mothership time.
That's right, but it's going to be a long time before Mothership's out, and the Broodlords are going to be morphing in just a second. Bam, there they are.
Okay, here we go. And I would assume we're going to try to see the Zerg push some ground here with the Broodlords, gain some turf. He needs to get his creep spread out a little bit further. You can see Parting is doing a pretty good job of dealing with any of the creep that's still on the map.
Oh, and look at this. He's putting on some pressure right before Broodlords. But those Broodlords are just about to finish. Both players very near maxed. Parting pushing forward a little bit more. DRG starting to expand around the map.
I would be surprised if he actually attacked into that. No way to catch those infestors and continue to move forward now. A few Fungals thrown up. Now with the Broodlords here, I'm really wondering if he's just going to book it with those Stalkers. One thing you can do when they have Broodlords is just run around the map with Stalkers, blink into their main, and do stuff like that. He did also very nice, force a cancel.
Yeah, Parting, multitasking very well. His 4th base being set up, that is crucial. That's going to give him the money to actually be able to continue to make units as the very cost-efficient composition of DRG starts killing things off.
Basically, both players are maxed out right now. And it's going to be very tough for either player to engage the other one. And here's what I was talking about. You can run around the map with your Stalkers if Broodlords are out because they're so slow and try to pick off little bits here and there of the Zerg's base or drones, anything like that.
Well, right now, DRG is trying to close in. Notice how he's snaking back and forth across the map. He's trying to make sure that Parting does not run way around. If he's like behind the Zerg army, he can kill bases, but DRG is forced Parting into this part of the map. Now he has to be careful. Oh my god, look at that APM of DRG. That's,
oh my god.
And this is...
500 APM?
Oh my god, and that's EPM, which is effective APM. That's like insanity. Anyways, so this is a big and important battle, and these are actually some beautiful fungal growths going on. Holding those Stalkers still.
I think ideally he would want to get closer to being underneath. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. He's now blink around the map. He's going to attack other expansions. As we see here, I don't know if the Protoss can hold the 4th base, but the Zerg is going to lose the 4th base as well here.
And that is very important to kill off the Zerg's 4th. It's really going to put him into a tough spot. Now, one thing to mention is the Mothership did just pop out. Also, Void Rays are on the way. And look at that, the Void Rays here, throwing down the infested Terrans to help out against that Void Ray. As he doesn't have
here
any
we
crushers.
go. An invisible army's coming out. If he can just snipe those Overseers.
Well, there's a lot of Overseers there to try to snipe, and Suddenly the ground army of DRG is not big enough, and a blink-in occurs.
Oh, no.
And the second you don't have enough units underneath those Broodlords, this is what happens. And Parting dealing a ton of damage here to DRG.
Parting is really starting to impress me now. He's going to run, but there's no way for the Broodlords to actually escape here.
That's right, a lot of expensive units being taken out by the Stalkers.
Parting is playing like a badass.
He truly is, but let's not forget that DRG got a huge bank during that. In fact, as he's macroing up, he still has 4,000 minerals and almost 1,000 gas.
We actually have a bunch of roaches that have been killing probes in the second base over here, and in the main as well, as we can see now. Wow, okay. It's about 150, oh, it's 153 supply to 153 supply. And they're both going to just try to reclaim their fourth. DRG is trying to sneak a fifth, but these Stalkers are making things very difficult on him.
That's right. Well, Broodlords are morphing right nearby. Roach is coming up, so he's going to have to get out of there, but lucky for him, he is going to be able to escape with those Stalkers. Every unit completely precious right now for Parting. Right now, also, 50 probes against 52 drones, so economy-wise, they're going to be pretty close.
He could have actually hit that expansion. He's ignoring this free 5th expansion over here. That may have some big negative ramifications later on in this game if he doesn't you know, come to and realize that that base is actually being taken. Vortex is now on the way.
That's right, he has Vortex, and we'll have to see when he wants to use it. He has to wait for the right time. We don't have any Archons out, so it can't be an Archon toilet. But just getting part of the Zerg army out of a battle is gigantic.
Okay, he's closing in over here. I think there's just too much Protoss stuff. There he is. Sucks him in there.
And DRG rightfully runs away.
Okay, now what he wants to do is he puts the Stalkers in the Vortex so that when everything pops out, the Stalkers are right underneath the Broodlords. Watch and learn, folks.
And here we go, they do pop out. And in fact, a ton of Changelings are in there as well to help spread out those Stalkers. A very smart move by DRG.
That's
but
it, GG.
Oh
my God, that game was so sick.
That was a pretty fun game. Sheth, Axlav, what do you think?
Fun game.
Yeah. All right, cool. I guess we're done here.
That's just about all there is, right? Everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
I think what was really interesting there is Parting's defense against the Roach was so perfect. He got split attacked, but his force fields on both sides were just absolutely perfect. He kept his Colossi alive, he kept his Sentries alive, he kept his air units alive. And those are the three things that Zerg needs to do damage with their Roaches. And ever from there, you know, Parting had control of the game.
Yeah, you know, that's actually one of the hardest things to do in PvZ is to split that army just perfectly to deal with both areas DRG is attacking. But when Parting did that, it was suddenly like, oh, DRG, you invested in all these Roaches and they died. They didn't do anything. What could he have actually done from there to come back?
Well, the main thing I felt like was because he went with all those Roaches, he had to almost keep going Roaches. Because he just kept upgrading them, even went up to a +3 on those Roaches. So then his army composition at the end had to be Broodlord Roach instead of something like Broodlord Ling Infester, which is much better. To have like that huge massive Infestors, which just kills everything. So I felt like just that the whole idea of Roach into that was the only thing he could really do. Do
you think DRG should have pushed with the Mothership like he did? I mean, with the Broodlords like he did as the Mothership was on the way, because, you know, I understand that he had forced the Protoss back, but to me it seemed like somewhat of an overextension.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you, and I would like to see your guys' points of view, but, I mean, he came across the map with the Broodlords, with the Roaches, and with the Infestors that he had, which... Yeah, he's in a tough spot, but whenever you move out with that whole army and you're like way off creep and you know your rally points are far away, you're fighting kind of on his turf, he's going to have the Mothership popping out and helping his army pretty soon. I mean, we always see Zergs lose like this, where suddenly the Roaches are gone and then the Broodlords are dead.
Yeah, I think that definitely was. That attack did not go the way he wanted to. But it's also hard to say that it's necessarily wrong because he was in a position where a few minutes later in the game, he would have been in a really tough spot. He had no upgrades for his Broodlings. He had no armor upgrades, no melee attack upgrades. All he had was those range upgrades, which are all to the Roaches. And if he waits a few more minutes, those Roaches are going to be even more useless. So he felt he had to do something. Maybe the attack wasn't the best idea, but he was in a really tough spot at that point anyway.
Yeah, that's no right choice, really. Well, thanks, guys. It looks like we're ready for game number 3. Can Parting get another point onto his record? He's already won the match. We will see. We're starting it now. Parting against DRG. Parting up 2-0. Can
Parting-
DRG take a game?
I hope he can. Parting did two completely different styles in 2 games, and it was perfect the way he was playing. I can't believe that after seeing Parting play like that, that I know he's 48%